Welcome back. This is Sealchan, and this is my Minecraft Alpha 1.1 progressive long Let's Play. Or should I call it Long Play Let's Play? Anyway, today we're going to finish this build by installing its redstone component. I've had a chance to think about what I need or want, so let's go and get a couple more things. Okay. I'm going to give myself the opportunity to provide a little bit of redstone instruction. As you can see, this pressure plate. I was wondering about that. Well, that doesn't work, does it? Huh. Nice. When you put pressure on a pressure plate, as a part of a redstone circuit, the pressure plate acts like a power source. So if you put down redstone here, or here, or here, or here, or even in the block of air above this, which you can't do, or in the block on which this pressure plate sits, you'll get a signal. And when you take the pressure off, then the signal stops. So this wooden mechanism and this wooden mechanism are both part of the redstone circuit. Now, when the door is powered, does it transmit that signal to this door? No, it does not. Let's take the door down for a second. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Just by placing the redstone on here, it caused the door to move. I believe that's called a block update signal, which is even more complicated. Usually, I don't think you have to think about it too much. Now, because this pressure plate has powered this block, the air block in which it resides, And it powers all these 4 blocks. And this redstone, which occupies this air block, this is now a powered block. That sent a signal probably to every door around it, or every space around it. So this wooden block, this block that contains the bottom half of the door, this block which contains another pressure plate, and this one, well, this is the one that the source is coming from. Every time this changes, it seems to trigger this door. Interesting. I'm making it even more complicated than I wanted to. See, that's the trick with redstone. It just has all of these rules which involve blocks, which are contraptions rather than regular redstone. I believe there's a difference between a strongly powered signal, redstone signal, and a weakly powered redstone signal. And there's also a block update mechanism. In any case, the reason why this door opens is because when you stand on this pressure plate, it sends a signal. This air block that my feet are in sends a signal to this air block that this door is in, and it causes it to open so long as this signal is on. When it's off, it causes the door to shut. Alright, the same goes really for every air block around here, as well as the block beneath, and this air block above it. Okay. What we're trying to do here is to get this one pressure plate to also open and shut this door, depending on whether it's stood on or not. Okay, so right here is underneath. Let's see, did I bring... Oh, I only brought 3. Oh, well, we can do that. Okay. So, purely for aesthetics, I am putting down stone. And you can just about ignore that I'm using stone. I just want to do this. I don't want to confuse anyone any more than redstone is confusing. So let's do this trick. Now we've got music. Right now, there's nothing on that pressure plate. So there's no signal. When there is something on that pressure plate, then this block, which is on which the pressure plate is placed, will have a signal. Let's go see what happens if I put some pressure on that pressure plate. Interesting. I was expecting it to have a signal, and it didn't. So, oh, you know why? Because this is the underneath the door. This is the block that the pressure plate's on. Okay, so we have a pressure plate up here. It has no pressure on it. We have a pressure plate on this block, which has a piece of redstone on it. Aha. Alright, so because someone's standing on that pressure plate, a signal is being sent by the air block the pressure plate is in to this block underneath it. Because this has a redstone signal, then this air block, which has redstone in it, you see there's this little line, says that redstone sits in the block above this. It's not just painted on the block beneath it, it's actually in the block, air block above it. Because there's this invisible signal now coming from here, and this gets powered. Okay. So we take that away, and obviously it's no longer powered. Okay. Same goes, of course, for this pressure plate above this block. Now, what we want is the door over here to open. That means we need to send a signal to this block. Well, enter the redstone torch. Actually, I'm going to make things a little interesting here. Oops, I missed. Use the wood block. Okay, now we've powered the other pressure plate. Should be sending out signals everywhere. Yeah, and in fact, it sends out a signal here. And it looks like it's connecting, so it should be sending a signal here, and here, and here, and the block in which I'm standing, as well as this block underneath it. The signal's coming from this, so it goes in a direction. Now, this is one of the blocks this is sending a signal to. Well, guess what? Why isn't it sending a signal here? That's not the same as this pressure plate. It's sending a signal down through a solid block. This could be dirt. If it were suspended here, it could be sand. It wouldn't matter. Yet, this is not being powered from here. So, another tricky asymmetry. I guess you could say this block is, I don't know. I don't know what you could say. Other than redstone is really confusing. Now, this is being powered somehow. Not enough to power this, but when you place a redstone torch, it's on by default. You can place it on the ground or on the side of a block, just like a torch. It's on. I'm going to place it here. I think what you're going to hear is a sound, and you're going to see the torch is off. Yes. Why? Why is that off? Well, because this torch accepts the signal that's in this block. This redstone dust does not accept the signal that's in this block. It will accept the signal from the block above it, but not from a solid block next to it. Now, what do you think will happen here? Will the redstone torch be on or off? I'm going to vote... I don't know. Let's say it might be off. Nope. This redstone torch is ignoring this signal. This is very much... Redstone is confusing. I'm sure all these rules are laid out in the wiki. Anyway, this circuit is so simple, but yet you can see how complicated redstone is. And it's complicated because it's unfamiliar. I'm sure there's rules about directions that signals can travel through blocks, and whether or not they impact an object that's next to that block. That, I would argue, is the genius and complexity of redstone in a nutshell. Anyway, this is the circuit. And as we saw, a redstone on the side is air block. This redstone, you should think of it as existing in this air block. Once it's powered by the pressure plate through the block above it, it will send a signal to this block. This redstone torch will be sensitive to the signal inside this block, even though this redstone will not. It will change from on to off. When it does that, it sends the signal, reverses it, and places it into the block above it. Because that is a change in the state of the torch, and in this block, it will change the state of the door. So, look at that. And of course it works both ways, as we place the redstone dust underneath each of those plates. And that is that build. Again, I want to thank Beyond 5D for providing me that design. I will testify, as he showed in his little video, that he worked from a much more complicated thing and down to the simplest. Now, I did do research since he did that, and you can go back 14 years in YouTube history and find videos that, at least one I found, it gives you the same design. But that doesn't take at all away from the innovation and the joy of discovering things like that. That is absolutely one of the great things about Minecraft. Is it completely new logic circuit that you can design in the game. It's meant to blend in to an aesthetic build and achieve automation, such as this very simple little solution to a problem. Okay, so I will find a link to Beyond 5D's video, as I promised him I would, and put it in the description. It might take me a day or two just to make sure I find it. But yeah, anyway, as you can see, just how complicated this very simple circuit is. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. That concludes this build, where I want to, I don't know, I think Redstone is just really great, but I don't think I want to create crazy super complex builds. I don't want to create crazy super complex builds, even in regular building. That's the secret for me personally of what keeps me in the game. I love this magic of Redstone, and I want to make use of it, but I don't want to go crazy with it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the next. Take care.